Alright, everyone. Hello there. Welcome to the Legends of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. Now, while there's still some leeway here, it sounds like we are approaching the grand revelation that actually, yes, there's a supernatural magical curse or demon or devil that makes the people of Erebonia do bad things. And I really hope that's not the case, but that appears to be what they're going towards. And then we're approaching this prophecy angle. So I talked about how about the idea of morally complex characters, right? About where you could find interesting discussion about ethics and virtues and what is the right choice to make, that sort of thing. Right? Now, prophecies, depending to the degree to which they are actual, serious. This is how it's going to play out, prophecies. Alright? Remove a lot of that complexity. Because then it stops being about, a question of, well, do I put... How much are you willing to risk compared to for a reward? Or how much are you willing to sacrifice to attain a goal? It becomes just a question of, okay, we know this is going to happen. This is the degree to which I can minimize the bad element of it. Do I choose to minimize the bad or not? And then it's, of course you choose to minimize the bad, because that's literally your only option. It's like, right, there's 5,000 people that are going to die. Unquestioned. You can't stop it. Right? Well, correction. There's 5,000, there's two options. Either 5,000 people are going to die, or of that 5,000, only 500 of them have to die. And the question is, well, which do you choose? And if those actually are the only two options, barring, of course, the tendency for games like this to be something like, and then friendship! But we'll ignore that for a second. Going, like I said, sticking to the whole prophecy as a serious, hard rule. Of course you take, well, rather than have all 5,000 die, we'll just have the smaller group of them die. And it's tragic and terrible, but it doesn't make you morally complex. It just makes you able to do basic math. Actually, Babylon 5 had a great bit related to that. Where they were talking during the Shadow Wars. The whole series. So these two precursor powers, right, are going about blowing up planets. And the plucky younger races have banded together and scrapped together a fleet to try and stop them. But they literally only have the forces to try and make a stand at one of two places. Right? It's literally a case if they try and save both, they'll lose both. So they just go, well, place A has like 15 billion people. Place B has 5 billion people. It's just math. And then you're not like, oh no, they chose the place with more people. How morally complex? No, it's not. It's just math. We'll see
future,
though.
No doubt.
Ah!
I'm certain any attempts to avoid it will only cause things to become further warped and twisted.
Oh, that's a bad sign. It's making me not happy.
That is one of the reasons I am not putting a stop to the Chancellor's actions.
So, like I said, so this is literally a case of like, alright, there's 500 people who are going to die, and you could save them, but if you do, 5,000 will die, including those original 500. What do you do? Well, if the 500 are going to die either way, no matter what you do, you don't have them taken out, as well as the additional extra people unnecessarily. Alright, so Erebonia is apparently under perhaps an inventable magical thingamajiggy. I'm curious how this sounds like something that would relate to Ouroboros in some way, so I am curious on that front. But I am not liking the broad direction of the implications behind the events.
Sure, I don't know all the details, but both the Chancellor and His Highness understand the situation fully. Yet they...
Yeah, but Rean, the problem is that you are ignoring the situation. Like, he just laid it out for you. Hey, there's this bad thing that's going to happen. It's inevitable. If we try to stop the bad thing, it'll just make things worse. So we don't. I mean, yes, Rean, power, friendship, and all that, but same with my, like, yeah, there has to be, you have to accept the idea that if you just really try, you'll literally succeed at anything. Kill God, stop an empire, overturn a religion, whatever. You just have to really try and have 5 good buddies, and you can do any of that. Kill the creator of the universe, whatever. Either you need to embrace that concept, as ridiculous and unrealistic as it is, or you need to temper that approach with some realism.
And so, I plan to not avert my eyes and watch to the end.
Huh?
As the ruler of Erebonia, the Empire mired in darkness and founded under a curse, I shall watch my sons, the Crimson Wings, the new light of the nobility, and Class 7, both old and new, to see if any of them can overcome the iron will of the Chancellor and light the way to a new path for this nation.
I mean, magical curse, Emperor. You need to be like, this is a prophecy we can't stop, or you need to be like, yeah, no, it's just gonna ruin things. I mean, this could be just him being like, oh, it makes me sad, the facts of the world that I live in. But you know what? You're a plucky bunch of underdogs. I will let you put everything at risk in the hopes of maybe, friendship. Beating the day. But like I said, a lot of this is going to depend on the degree to which... It's hard to say. But I'm not like... I like the idea that Hamel happened because of people, and not because there was an evil curse.
I promise to give everything I have to find this new path. Not just as a member of Class 7, but on behalf of Thor's Military Academy and all its students and graduates.
You're aware that would include both myself and the Chancellor, yes?
Well, you did just mention you went there.
But all the same, well said.
Like, honestly, Emperor, if anyone's going to stop the bad things, I would trust Osborne to do it. He's a far better person to put your hopes on than Rean. And I don't know if you realize this about Rean, but he's kind of a puppet. Alright, so not the person I expected to talk to. Not the revelation I was expecting either. Mixed feelings about that revelation.
Welcome back. I'm not sure what you two spoke about, but I trust it was well worth the time.
So many things get tied up in Hamel. But if it's all because of a magical curse...
Yes, most definitely.
Precisely. There is something in Erebonia. Something which bends people's minds and steers them toward chaos.
I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. Like, an evil power that made, like, a deal with maybe a small specific group, maybe? But that doesn't seem kind of what it's being implied to be.
Rean.
It's nothing. Major, can I ask you something?
Finished with your chat?
Oh, I wanted to know what he was going to ask her. Speaking of the man I was expecting a conversation with. Hi, Osborne.
Your Excellency.
It would appear you want no need to speak with me about something. I can't take too much time out of my schedule, but I have a room prepared.
I do have prophecies to mitigate to the degree to which we can.
Shall we?
Yes, let's go.
Ooh, we've got the serious suspenseful music playing.
Where are you headed, Ash?
I gotta take a piss. Wanna join me?
Oh, Ash, what are you up to, buddy?
I think I'll pass.
What horrible things are you up to, you horrible person? Oh, no!
But let me say this. Don't so much as think about sneaking out.
Oh, he's under an evil magical witchcraft demony curse, isn't he?
I admit it's a bit nerve-wracking, but this truly is a special event. We should all enjoy it together as Class 7.
Who would have guessed the pretty boy was just as big of a nag as that wild filly?
Oh, you're a horrible person, Ash.
Maybe somewhere along the line, I let those guys get to me.
No, you're a horrible person.
Oh, is something the matter, sir?
Oh, yeah, I was just on my way back from the bathroom, but I noticed something strange.
Something strange, sir?
Yeah, it's just around the corner here.
And he's gonna beat that man up, isn't he? This random civilian butler, he's just gonna go to town on with his fists. Possibly a chokehold, I don't know. I don't know.
I believe this will be the first time we've been able to speak one-on-one like this.
Ever since I gave you up as a child.
Since,
Prophecy!
of course, that day, 14 years ago.
Because there was a magic curse. I had things to do, son.
His Majesty told me. General Craig, too.
So I've heard. His Majesty knows the truth of my circumstances, more or less. Craig and Van Dyke, on the other hand, only know the facts that float on the surface. They remain in the dark as to what truly happened to Brigadier General Gileath Osborne.
Well, that's a weird use of the third person. You think maybe... Ooh, could Osborne be that evil curse? Has he been possessed by a devil?
Then will you tell me
Could be it.
what happened 14 years ago?
I hope not, though. Kind of takes away a lot of his... character if it's just... Oh yeah, actually, he's a magic demon.
Why did you leave me? Why did you leave your son? Why did you become a completely different person?
Those are good questions.
You trampled over everything in your way, robbed the people of their pride and independence, and planted the seeds of the Civil War.
He did. Although, remember, Rean, prophecies.
After what you did to Jirai, you annexed Crossbelt and Northumbria, and now you're planning a war with Calvard.
Rean, Jirai was basically nothing. Like, to even put it on the same level as Crossbelt and Northumbria is a stretch.
At the same time, you're working with the Black Workshop and trying to bring all the darkest parts of the world toward the surface. What are you... No. Why are you doing this?
It sounds as though you've figured a great many things out on your own.
I'd want to know a whole lot more about this magical curse of prophecy, Rean, because that's kind of what a lot of this seems to hinge on.
First, allow me to commend you for not being consumed by your false hero's title.
Dun. Yeah, remember, Rean? You've been a puppet.
Very well. I shall start with your first question. After I lost Kasha, I left you in Ymir, and 3 months later His Majesty bid me investigate the Hamel incident. Afterward, I went to negotiate with the Queen of Liberl. The Queen agonized over the decision, but I knew she wanted peace as soon as possible. Eventually, she agreed to the terms of the ceasefire.
That does seem to make
sense.
sense.
The officers behind everything, led by Lecter's father, were given the death penalty, and the 4 great houses were put in check.
Well, let's just say the noble officers directly behind things.
All in a single month. In recognition of my accomplishment, His Majesty appointed me Chancellor.
Because I still have thoughts on either how the degree to which Lecter's dad is a horrible monster. Though again, now I have to possibly mitigate that on the idea that, oh, maybe he might have had a magic curse. Playing on his brain.
I'm grateful to Teo. He accepted my request not to reveal anything to you. But at the same time, it meant I had to sever my ties to both you and him. As a revolutionary, taking on the 4 great houses, I needed to be on my own. I couldn't have anything holding me back.
So her name was Kasha, the woman who gave birth to me.
I mean, almost any of the people could probably have told you that.
Once
I guess they just insisted
became
Osborne tell them.
Chancellor, I crushed those who opposed me, expanded our railway network, and garnered even more power. Behind the scenes, I also made deals with Ouroboros and joined forces with the Black Workshop.
Oh, there's Lo on the left. Wiseman. Vita. Dr. Novartis. And the Steelman.
After the incident in Liberl, I cut ties with the Snakes and robbed them of the Black Workshop's loyalty.
That's interesting. I'm curious about, again, Black Workshop. A little mysterious
Then,
still.
2 years ago, I used Rufus to fell the Noble Alliance from within.
As I had determined.
And ultimately, I stole Ouroboros' phantasmal blaze plan right out from under them.
I don't know what the plan is yet.
What even is the Phantasmal Blaze plan?
Oh, You know what? I don't think we'll find out, because the game likes to tease that.
And what are you planning to do with it?
Oh.
By this point, it's safe to say Ouroboros' goal is no different from their gospel plan in Liberl. The acquisition of Adios' treasures, the Septarian.
I am unsure about that. Because they were really willing to kind of give up things with Kia at the end.
In Crossbell, they used the false phantasm to awaken the blaze in Erebonia. But the prize they seek is more than simply that blaze. This dark land once housed 2 treasures. The clash between the 2 of them resulted in the creation of the Great One. All the people, things, and history of Erebonia are inexorably entangled in its blessings and its curse.
Okay.
I'm sure you've been able to deduce that much from certain historical documents you've been reading.
What are you?
Pardon me, Your Excellency.
And this is just a little bit more to that whole curse that the Emperor was just priming you about.
The Emperor is calling for you.
Understood. That shall be all for now.
So the Phantasmal Blaze plan is related to getting, maybe, the Septarians that were in Erebonia? Maybe?
Wait! We're not done yet! There's so much more I need to ask! How did you survive being shot through the heart? Are you the same as the Jaeger King, the Steel Maiden, and Siegfried? Or does it have something to do with the scar on my chest and this power I have?
14 years ago, when we were attacked, your heart was punctured by debris. Kasha, your mother, she begged me to save you. So, I made the decision to give my heart to my son.
Then where's your heart?
That is the reason Gro Armbrush shot to my chest did not find its mark. I'll leave the rest for you to figure out. It's the same riddle I've given to the Iron.
Is he like McBurn?
Major, escort him back to the venue. Our gallant hero seems a bit disoriented at the moment.
I wonder, because if we recall in the second game, McBurn talks a little bit how Rean's power is all concentrated in his heart, right? But McBurn's is through his entire body. Oh, yep, Ash, what the hell are you doing? Well, that's okay, because whatever he does is fine. We can forgive because he's under a curse.
That fires gunpowder bullets. Can't be found by metal detectors. Everything falling into place like this is way too convenient. I don't like it.
But I'm gonna do it anyways. Because I've got a magical curse on my brain.
Well, I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Or assassins, apparently. He's gonna go shoot Osborne, but Osborne can't be killed because he has a heart in Rean. Oh, is that how we're gonna defeat Osborne in the end? We're just gonna be like, I'm gonna stab myself in the heart, Dad. It might be. It's not. I'm gonna put that as a non-zero possibility. And then, somehow the power of friendship will cause him to survive while Osborne dies? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This has been an interesting dinner party, to say the least.
I know His Excellency isn't a normal person,
Oh, this is true.
but I believe somewhere deep down he still cares for you.
Yeah, I mean, I can believe that, but it's the same to the degree that Crow, deep down, was his friend. Sure, it's true, but it ultimately comes secondary to other, more important things.
Huh?
Myself, Lecter, Milliam, likely even Rufus as well. His Excellency has personally lent his help to each of us. It's possible he thought of us as a replacement for you.
Thank you. I'll try to sort through all this, somehow.
Alright, so, what I can tell,
Rean!
at the very least, is the magical curse is going to be personified in some sort of the Great One, and at some point in the fourth game we'll have to stab and kill it. Thus, of course, freeing the nation from the curse. That's how these arcs are going to go.
Instructor Rean!
Everybody.
I heard His Majesty called you in to speak with him?
Alright, let's take a little break here. We'll come back shortly and we'll continue on. And we're going to find out what stupid thing has Ash done. Oh, Ash. Oh, can he be executed? Fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed. Talk to you all soon.